Hello, my friend. On today's episode, I'm talking with Mr. Mark Fisher, and we're talking about our retreat in Denver. We have a 2-day retreat coming up, September 26th and 27th in Denver. So in this podcast, we talk about what to expect from our retreat, who it's for, what some of the talks are, what things you're going to learn. And Mark also shares a really special deal for coming to the retreat for just a couple $100. So if you've ever thought about joining us face-to-face for one of these events, this is the time to do it. We've never made it cheaper. So listen to this podcast and act quickly because these seats are going to fly off the shelves. Let's dive in. Hello, fitness business nerds. What's up? Welcome to another episode of the Business of Unicorns podcast. I'm back today with Mr. Mark Fisher. Mr. Mark Fisher, how are you, sir?
I am doing very well. My daughter's approaching her 3rd birthday, so.
Oh my gosh, that's so exciting.
Kept her alive for 3 years.
I know. I haven't seen her in a minute, but all the videos and things I see on social media, she's got such a personality these days. It's wild how quickly they turn into little adults.
Yes, sure is.
Yeah, well, my little fur baby is turning 2 this month, and so we got all the birthdays July. Little Pippin's going to be 2 whole years old, which is he's a little man now too.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's good summer vibes. We hope all of you listening are having a great start to your summer. If you're somewhere in the world that's summery, we're recording this at the beginning of July, and we're recording this at the beginning of July with a really exciting announcement, which you I think are hearing on this podcast for the first time, which is you're all invited to a retreat that we're doing in Denver, September 26th and 27th. And so we, as you all know, for our Unicorn Society group, we do 2 retreats per year, and we have a few spots available for people who are not yet in Unicorn Society, but want to come hang out with me and Mark and Pete and Ben and the rest of the Business of Unicorns team for the weekend. And those spots tend to go very quickly. But this is our first announcing about this Denver retreat. So Fisher, I'm really excited for this one.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great time, and very happy to talk all about people and operations, which is the great underappreciated element of a business that makes you not insane.
Exactly. Yeah. So Fisher's hinting at the idea that our theme for this retreat is basically people systems, how you operationalize your business around all the things needed for the people management from your clients to your staff to you as a leader. Right? So we're talking about all the things you need to put in place to manage the people part of our gym business. And we got a lot of exciting speakers planned. Fisher, you want to talk a little bit about what our plans are for this Denver retreat?
Yeah, I think that the first thing actually I'll say that is relevant to, depending on when you listen to this podcast, is we sold a number of seats to this. We did like a flash sale at the end of last year.
That's
and
right.
We keep this event mostly unicorn-sided people. So we cap how many non-unicorn-sided people we have just because we want to keep it in the fam. So we have a handful of seats left, and we'd love for you to take them. So what we're doing is for this week only, again, depending on when you hear this, by Saturday, July 12th, you can get tickets for $249. So usually the tickets are $799. The early bird's a little bit cheaper, but if you want to come in for $249, that's basically at cost for us. We're not really trying to make money on it. We just want to meet some more awesome people, get some more gym owners in the door. But again, we don't have a ton of seats left because most Unicorn Society, mostly sold out. So if you want to come, it's only $249 per seat, but you have to sign up by the end of day, Saturday, July 12th. There'll be a link in the show note wherever you're listening to this.
Yeah, that's a pretty great deal. I frankly didn't even know we were doing it. I think that's pretty amazing. I mean, this is 2 full days of retreat, 2 full days of content. You can barely ever get a 1-day thing for that price.
Yep.
And I'll just say, I'll pat ourselves on the back for a second and say, we collect feedback after every single retreat we've done all these years. And our retreats consistently get 8s, 9s, and 10s out of 10s for people walking away with real value. So I say a lot to say, if you can get your butt to Denver and you can find the $249, you're going to walk away, I promise, with some really great value for how to improve the systems in your business. I have no doubt about that. I have no doubt about that at all. Especially for this one. Like I said, we have a lot of great plans. Mark and I are speaking. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about ourselves first. I know I'm doing 2 talks at this retreat that I'm really excited about. One is how to onboard your staff with less of your time. I know a big pain point for a lot of Unicorn Society members, a lot of gym owners, is whenever you have to onboard new staff, suddenly it's like a full-time job. You have to put everything else on hold to go onboard staff. And so I'm going to teach you how to scale that and do it better with less of your time. The other talk I'm giving that I'm really excited about is how to manage and lead friends. And so you and I have this experience, could probably write a book about this, but it's really tricky when you're a small business owner and you are very close and personal with the people that work for you and with you and alongside you. And so I'm going to do a talk about how to do that tap dance, how to both kind of honor personal relationships and friendships, and really also get results and have expectations of one another. You're going to show up and be professional as well as personal friends. It's a tap dance, but I think I have a few tricks and tips I've learned over the years that I'm really excited to share. Yeah. What are you going to be talking about, Fisher?
I don't know yet.
We got a few options. You got a few options.
The one I'm leaning towards right now, and maybe listeners, you can join in if you're like, do talk about this. We have talked about, I'm considering doing a online workshop that I might bring back for this in August. I think your relationship with a number two or a sous chef is a very important relationship. And it's something that I've had a lot of experience with, both at Mark Fisher Fitness and with my current gym with Alana at Alloy in New Jersey. So today, speaking of today, and I'm gonna have to decide soon, obviously, I'm thinking I'd like to do something on leading, managing, and working with a number two. Because I think for a lot of gym owners, part of the benefit to you of having strong people in operations is, I said jokingly, it's a non-crazy making business, but like really the only way you can do a business sustainably and humanely is you need somebody else that can sometimes lift some of the load for you, that can think a little bit like an owner. And that's nuance I would go into. I don't know if you can ever really expect someone that is an actual employee to fully lift that load for you, but at the very least, you should be able to develop a relationship with somebody that can really have some meaningful responsibilities, that can really drive revenue, support the team, allow you to go on vacation for a week and not be plugged in the entire time. But you do have to find the right person. You have to have the right systems in place and hold them accountable with the right kinds of numbers. You need to compensate them appropriately, which is usually something a little bit more complicated than a flat hourly rate or a salary rate. And then also, depending on your model, there's an argument made for how much they're on or off the floor. And at the risk of overly teasing you on something that if I don't do this talk, now you'll never know. I guess you'll come and find me. There's one consistent mistake I always see. I was just talking with a very sophisticated gym the other day that did this, and they got lucky because the situation resolved itself. People always hire the wrong person for this position. And I'm going to leave it as an open loop for you there. I'm not going to tell you. You'll have to come to Denver, assuming I get this talk.
It's a tricky one.
Mistake that people almost always make. Yeah, that it's the wrong person, and then it's not working, and then it's bad for you on them.
It's a tricky one to find someone who can really be the kind of day-to-day manager of your gym for you on your behalf. Someone you're not there is someone who's really got to give a lot of shit. They got to come with a lot of integrity. They got to come with some skills and some experience. They got to want to manage people because that's so much of the job. And finding that person can be tough. And when you find the wrong one, it's pretty obvious pretty quick. And when you find the right one, damn, it can really be magical. Yeah, so I think that's a great idea for a talk, Fisher. I think it's a good one. It actually goes hand in hand. One of the other ones that I'll tease to all of you listeners that's coming is, many of you know Chris Travis, who's been on the podcast many times, Business Unicorns coach, owner of Seattle Strength and Performance in Seattle, and he is doing a talk about actually hiring staff, but non GM staff. But he's going to talk about hiring staff that kind of punch above their weight. Right. Talk about like what skills and experience to look for to find staff who really come in and can carry, more than their share. Right. And he's done this incredibly well. Many of you know he scaled to multiple locations in just a few years. And so I think that's another kind of talk that I'm really excited about. And he shared with me like a few tips already that I guess, I'll tease a little bit. But a big part of what he looks for is he looks for trainers who have interests outside of fitness. Right. He looks for people who are going to come into the business and have some interest in some marketing or PR or community development or customer service or nutrition. Or, he looks for people who have interest outside of coaching because then he can build multifaceted roles in his gym. He can have multiple people in his gym be responsible for multiple things, which is often a challenge for gyms. A lot of folks who work with, we had this challenge is that coaches just want to coach. They don't want to do
Yeah.
anything else. And I think part of Chris's success, according to him, and this makes sense to me, is that he's found some people who are multidimensional, have multiple interests, and he can leverage those multiple interests in building a team that can really punch above their weight. And I think that's going to be a really exciting talk that kind of goes hand in hand with what you were saying about finding a GM who's really the best fit for the role. Yeah. We have lots of others planned too. I don't want to tease too much, but let me just say this, because whenever we talk about retreats, I like to make sure that I point this out, because I think this is something we try to do more than anyone else tries to do, and I'm very proud of it, is that when you come to one of our retreats, you're absolutely going to learn from me and from Mark and from Ben and from Pete and from the rest of our team and from every speaker on the stage. But we also really go above and beyond to make sure you're connecting with other gym owners at this retreat. And you're going to learn from each other just as much as you're going to learn from us. We have breakout tables from between sessions. This time, we're also going to have roundtable discussions led both by our coaches and by other gym owners for all kinds of conversations that you want to have and crowdsource ideas with other gym owners. So I say that, we're teasing a lot of these talks that we'll have in Denver, and they're going to be amazing, I'm sure. And I want to make sure that you're clear that when you come to this, you're going to learn from more than the people on the stage. And we hear that all the time in the feedback. And more over the years, we try to dedicate more time for that kind of networking connection, because people find it so, so valuable. And so if you are the kind of person out there who just would love to connect with more people in the industry and learn what they're doing, this is a retreat for that, right? It's one of the real pillars of how we think about success in these things. 100%. Anything you would add to that?
Yeah, I would just say too, if you're somebody that's naturally a little bit introverted, we also pride ourselves in making this as introvert friendly as we can, which is to say some reasonable, not overwhelming and not terrifying icebreakers very fast outside the gate. So you have the opportunity to meet people quickly. I think the first day we're having lunch all together. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah. We'll have a meal together on the first day.
Yep. And then, of course, we have our famous dining rounds. So you have an opportunity, if you're interested, to sign up for a small group dinner of 8 to 10 people with either me or a Keeler or someone on the Business for Unicorn staff. So we also work very hard to lubricate the social side of this, because we also get some people are just introverts, and some of you listening probably are completely fine to walk into a room full of strangers and just start having conversations, and that's amazing. And this is a great space to do that, because I think people are down to meet people they don't know. But I get it, particularly because a group like this, there are a lot of tight-knit friendships you're kind of walking into, and we take great pains to make it so that everybody has a chance to meaningfully connect and drop in with fellow attendees. And we do that structurally. So we don't just rely on assuming people be friendly, though I think that they will, but we set it up so that there are, non-coercive, non-forced feeling opportunities to start to make some of those friendships, because yeah, I mean, at this point, with all the love for us, I do love us. I'll say, and I think we'll be doing a upcoming podcast. I've made a comment about this soon, about even my own educational journey of late. It's just so much about talking to people, talking to people that are doing the thing. Because sometimes there's just certain nuggets you can get there that you're just not actually going to get from the speakers on stage, no matter how good they might be. Oftentimes, the 1, the 2, the 3 game-changing ideas you're going to get are going to be from an offhand conversation for somebody at happy hour.
Yeah. Really well said. I couldn't agree more. That's exciting. All right. Well, you want to tell the people one more time, what's the deadline for getting the special rate? How do they do it?
Yeah. So I don't know when this podcast will drop. I'll talk to Rosemarie, but the deadline to get the $249 rate is going to be, you must buy it by end of day, Saturday, July 12th. There will be a link in the show note in and around when you find it. And a reminder, again, at $249, you're not going to beat that price. It's really just covering costs, because again, we are going to have snacks. We're going to have our covering lunch for you on Friday. So if you have any interest in going, you think you might come, now is definitely time to sign up. You might as well lock in that rate and save several $100s.
Yeah. And to give you the dates again, we have a welcome reception on Thursday, September 25th, and then the full day on the 26th and 27th, which is a Friday and Saturday in September. And so if those dates work for you, come and join us. We're going to be right in downtown Denver. We get all that information once you click the link, but we would love to have you. It's a great chance to network. And for anyone out there who has, who's just been thinking about maybe Unicorn Society is right for me, but I don't really know these people, it's a great way to just come and go on a first date with us, right? Whether you join Unicorn Society now or ever, it's just a great way to dip your toe in the water and see if this community could be a good fit for you. Yeah. Anything else you want to share, Fisher?
No, you should come. We'll see you there. Colorado,
you should come.
Great time of year. Come on, Colorado,
it's going to be
late
great.
September.
Yeah,
Let's go.
it's going to be a beautiful time of year. Awesome. Well, thanks for the great conversation, Fisher. I'm excited for this one, and I hope to see you all in Denver. Have a good rest of your day. Bye.